What's going on? Gonna be honest, I didn't feel like filming yesterday, so I just didn't. But I was down here working. I got this Crossmember notched for the Driveshaft. Hopefully I did it in the right place. I made some pretty terrible marks on it. But it's notched and painted. I'm gonna put that on. I'm working on the alignment here, so you can see my specs of what I was doing yesterday. So factory specs 4.2 degrees of caster. I'm going to adjust that to 5.5 because of the lift. I like a little bit more caster. Helps return the wheel to center. What I started with, left 3.7, right 4.8. I'll show you here in a second, but I did two turns on the 3.7, got me to 6.8. And then we're going to ignore this because we're going to actually leave that where it is. I'll explain this in a second. So now I'm going to pull the right side apart and do one turn on the rod end. And that should bring me up into the sixes, close to this. And then I'll show you, but we're going to fine tune with the upper control arms. So basically what that means is underneath of here, when I come down under here, what we've got, lower control arm. I spun this rod end 2 times, and that stuffed the front, bottom, whatever. Gave me a whole bunch of caster, almost 3 degrees. This upper arm, I can twist to adjust it in. That's going to push the top that way, and that's going to take away some of the caster. So basically, I'm going to make my big movements with these bottom bars. So I got to move that one. We'll go 1 full turn, and then we'll fine tune with these bars, which I like that setup, being fully adjustable, really nice. So that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of what we're going to do. So this side's pretty much ready for the fine tuning adjustments. So I'm going to do that side, get that one ready, and then we'll throw the gry line on here and sort of fine tune everything once we know what we have. So, which is going to make filming hard. So I'm probably not going to pick up till I have everything fine tuned. So we'll see how many adjustments I have to do this. And I'm going to keep track on that board. So then once that's done, I got some fender liner clips to put in. I got a heat shield that goes somewhere under here. I got to figure out where that goes. And then I can get that heat shield in. And then I just want to run over everything, make sure everything's good. And then we're going to take it for an actual drive on the street, I think, and see how she does. So let's get started on the alignment. I just took this thing for a test drive, and overall, it rides nice. Still don't think the toe is right. Actually, I know the toe can't be right. It feels, I don't know, darty is the best way I could describe it. Overall unbalanced. So I think it's too much toe out, if I had to guess, by how it's driving. But I also am going to run a caster sweep again just to make sure that the caster's right. I mean, if I'm looking at it sitting here in the bay, I just feel like the toe appears to be pointing out. So, but I didn't really check that with the gry line, with the rims and tires and everything on. So I'm going to throw it here on our pads, on my little dollies, and I'm going to take it back up, hit it on the gry line one more time, run my full caster sweep here, and then see what we come out with on a full sweep on this. And if I'm close to my 5.5, which I think I'm going to actually be over on that now, because I actually went 3 turns. So I'm probably going to be closer to 6 something if it's going to math out correctly. But I'll put that down here, and then I'll run my toe sweep. If I'm at 6, I'm just going to run with it because I really didn't think the caster felt terrible. It feels like the toe's off. I'm going to run my toe sweep, get a baseline on my toe on this one, and then go from there. If the toe is off, we'll adjust it, try to test drive again. I think that's what's going on. Also, I don't have a steering damper on here yet. I'm not too familiar with Jeeps. Like other vehicles with steering dampers, like you don't have to run them, like, and they don't feel horrendous. Like they can just kind of wear out and they just don't feel, maybe a little suboptimal. So, and I wouldn't say this thing feels horrendous by any means. It just does not feel wonderful. That's how I would describe it. And I was going for wonderful with all the money I've spent on the suspension. Ride's nice. Rock crawler springs, super soft. I mean, haven't done anything crazy with them yet, but super soft for what we just did with it. So happy with that. So yeah, let's run the front up on some pads here and check this alignment again. Just got back from driving it. It still feels darty, which I ran my numbers, and now I'm at too much caster. 5.53, 5.58 on the right. So I got to my number, but I Googled it, and Jeeps, unlike my Dodge, don't like a ton of caster. They feel darty, which is what I've got. And I think the biggest difference, which I didn't really think about till I was test driving it this last time, is my Dodge is leveled. So the weight, I don't know, is more even, but when you're towing a trailer, it's pulling the weight off the front. So I don't think you're noticing them as much caster when you're towing. Whereas with this, you probably are. And it's probably making it feel darty because it's pointed down. I don't have it leveled. So I think what I'm going to do is take the uppers. I wrote me a little note for tomorrow morning. I'll finish this video with that. I'm not going to edit it into multiple videos, but I'm going to take this down a degree on either side to about 4.5 on both sides. Toe, I'm perfect. I'm at basically 0 or 0.1, so I'm well within my toe spec. So I think that's what's going on. I did also notice, it kind of sucks, the steering box right there from the Pitman arm attachment has play. You can watch the shaft. Not much at all, but you can watch just a little bit of play there. So I think that's probably you're gonna feel that. So it's probably gonna need a steering box. It's not leaking fluid or anything, but it's probably gonna need a steering box. So it is what it is. I got an inspection on this thing. We're gonna drop it off for tomorrow night after we get done playing with that alignment a little bit. We're gonna drive it in, drop it off, get inspected. Hopefully everything passes. I did gotta put wipers on it tonight yet too. So pull these out to remind me here to do some wiper blades, some whipplers. So inspection, then it'll be good to drive. Steering stabilizer, I ordered that a while ago. Actually, I had to check. I was pretty sure I did. So I have to see where that's at. I think it was a Fox. For whatever reason, I think that was on back order when I ordered the other stuff for it. But anyways, that gets here. I'll get that on. I am going to put the transmission, transfer case, whatever, skid plate in here that we've got on here. We'll get that put in. And, yeah, I don't know. Let's just keep kind of letting it rip, right? I'm also debating why I had to notch this. Because I'm looking here, and I'm wondering halfway if I had this thing on. I couldn't have had it on backwards. But why did they notch this side so nice? You know? It's like they built this thing backwards. Like, look at that. That's a nice notch for your drive shaft. But there's no drive shaft on this side. I gotta look at this thing when it's in there, because that makes no sense, you know? Unless it's for the exhaust there. It is where that exhaust kind of comes down. I don't know. Now we have two uniform notches to make it work. It's weird. Odd. Anyways, we get that thing thrown in here, so that's done. And tomorrow, as soon as I get off work, adjust that caster, do a sweep on it, see if that's better, and take it in to get it inspected. And that's probably, I mean, my wife's going to detail it on Saturday after my daughter's soccer game, but we'll probably take it to soccer Saturday if I get it inspected, because we've all been waiting to drive the thing. And I'm going to get the car trailer in here then, start working on fixing the axles on that thing. So, I don't know, keep following, guys. Like, subscribe, follow along.